So what I thought I'd try and do in the next 5 or 6 hours. Now I'm going to spend really 15 or 20 minutes just to give you a basic overview about healthcare law stuff. There was a handout that I threw, well, it should be on everybody's chair. It's just called Negotiating Employment Contracts. I'm a partner at Saul Ewing. My office is just a couple blocks up the street at 15th and Market. Over the years, I've literally helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of physicians in academic medical centers and surgery centers with all sorts of business of medicine issues. So what I wanted to try and do today is just share with you a couple of tidbits of things you need to think about as it relates to contracts, because all of you hopefully are going to get contracts in the near future or whenever you're done training, and hopefully actually you're going to get 3 or 4 different offers and people are going to be fawning over you. And I want to help you most easily make things apples to apples in terms of understanding the benefits and the drawbacks of any potential offer that you might have. In my office, I have a bunch of salary information. Given the wide range of different specialties here today, I didn't want to kill too many trees and include salary stuff. So if you'd like specific salary stuff for your specialty, you can just shoot me an email, and I'm happy to give you whatever stuff I have, so it's helpful for you as you go through the process. As you think about the contract process, for many of you, I'm going to assume this will be your first quote-unquote real job. You might have had a gap year or two, but it's the first time you really have a job process. And I want you to think about it in a little bit different light. And for those of you who may have heard me speak at some of your individual programs, you'll sort of hopefully remember this. If you remember nothing else that I talk about today, by the time you're done training, you're going to be an excellent clinician. Hopefully you're going to continue to improve throughout the course of your career. With the limited time I have today and the information that both Jay's and Sean are going to share with you, we also want you to become better business people. Because it's really, really important, because even though you got into medicine presumably because you wanted to stay away from business, you're actually joining a business. Whether you're in a large academic medical center or a private practice or something in between, you're still going to be a business person. And as a business person, there's certain things you need to understand. The contract being one of those things you need to be able to figure out. When you're out on the interview process, think about it like a dating game. And I know it sounds silly, but all of you probably have dating experiences. I'm sorry, I'm sitting my back to you. All of you probably have dating experiences, probably more than interview experiences. And the same things you're thinking about when you're out on a date with somebody are the things you need to think about in the employment setting in terms of, do they share the same goals and aspirations do I do? What are their goals and aspirations? What sort of turnover have they had with people who recently joined them? Again, large academic medical center, community hospital, private practice, all the above, in terms of those things, in terms of how it fits for you. In the back of the booklet, because the limited time we have today, I put a bunch of articles in there. I write regularly for a bunch of different publications. I think there's a fuller bibliography as well. And there are all sorts of business of medicine articles. So where you should be in your last year of training, I analogize with a Major League Baseball season, like where you should be by spring training, the All-Star break, or the World Series going on right now in terms of where you should be in the job hunt. There's an article I put in there where I use song titles to illustrate term and termination provisions in contracts. The other thing we want to talk about the dating, I actually went to I think it was Match.com, and looked up their top 10 dating tips and used that article to analogize the things that you all need to think about when you're in the job hunt process. So there's articles like that in the book, again, just because of the limited time that we have today. So a couple big issues I really want to focus for you as it relates to your contracts. First is compensation. As it relates to compensation, all of you have financial needs or have financial goals that you want, and Jay and Sean can help you navigate through some of those different issues that you need to have. I will simply say that I could draw up a contract for any one of you, no matter what your specialty, that pays you $30,000 or $40,000 more in one job than the other, and the job that pays you $30,000 or $40,000 less could actually be a better short-term and potentially long-term opportunity for you. The money's important. I fully get that, and like I said, I have salary statistics back at my office, but if I'm a devious employer, there are lots of ways I can finagle what I need to do to get my objectives out of you and not pay you what you think you're actually worth for what you're doing. So be cognizant of the salary, don't totally be blinded by the salary.